Hey everybody, and welcome to my channel and welcome to Honest Q&A. If you have any questions, leave them down below and I'll try to get to all of them in the next episode or so. Okay, let's start with the first one. Ever regret selling something and then bought it again, but then sold it again? Yes, Analog Man, King of Tone. I've owned it 2 times and I also sold it 2 times. And I think I've done that for 2 reasons. I've used the King of Tone a lot when I played live, and then I've sold them when I sort of decided not to play live anymore because I don't really need it at home. And the second reason is that it's really easy to sell at a good price. As you know, there's a long waiting list. Yes, you could blame me for being a part of pushing the price up on the secondhand market, but that's what I've done when I needed cash. I've sold the King of Tone. It's super easy to sell. And yeah, I still regret selling it, even though I don't think I need one. It's always cool to have a piece of gear that is so good and is arguably part of guitar gear history. Who is the most famous person you have ever met? Actually, I think he also plays the guitar. I'm not sure if I'm making that up right now, but I'm pretty sure that I've seen him play guitar, and that is Bruce Willis. I saw him at 5th Avenue in New York City probably 5 years ago at the Nike store. I just walked straight past him. I saw him a couple of times after that in the store, and actually when he was leaving he bumped into my mother, like not being rude or anything, but he just bumped into her when he left and she didn't know it was him. So that was quite funny. So yeah, Bruce Willis, I guess he's pretty famous, right? How did you start doing gear reviews? I guess that is something that I've always wanted to do for some weird reason. And then I got a Clan Centaur clone built here in Norway, and he was selling a lot of them on Facebook groups, and he didn't have any demos of that pedal. And I just got a camera because I wanted to get into photography and doing maybe some video stuff. So I decided to make a demo of that pedal, and it's a really bad demo, I must say. And yeah, do not go and watch that demo. It's still on my channel, the first video here. Favorite Queens of the Stone Age riff? I would maybe say Turning on the Screw. That is always a riff that I come back to. I think it's quirky and it sounds really cool. So yeah, Turning on the Screw on Era Vulgaris. What pedals and amp did you use for the Troy Van Leeuwen Jazzmaster demo? Well, for the intro track, I used the Rev D20 as an amp, and I think I used the Fuzz Roches 420 fuzz, and I also used the Schnobel Tone Daily Driver, and I might also have used the 1981 Inventions Drive. For the demo, I used my Hamstead Artist 60 amp and a Friedman Dirty Shirley at the same time. I used the same pedals, and I basically use all of the pedals on my pedal board. Check out my latest pedal board video if you want to see all of those pedals. Yes. Do you ever see yourself putting out an original project like an album? Yes and no. I still want to do that. I have a lot of songs that I want to get out there. Some of them are more rock songs, and some of them are, I guess, more ambient lap steel things. And yeah, I do want to release them at some point. I made a lot of half songs because of YouTube and because of the lack of time. So I find it hard to produce like a full song. As I'm getting older, I'm thinking more and more about time put into a project versus the money that I get back. I've spent a lot of time of my entire life making music, touring, and it hasn't really paid off that well. I still think the process of being creative, that is most important, but I need to make a living, and that is easier to do when I'm making YouTube videos and making music videos and documentaries and stuff that I do. That's what I do for a living. So yeah, it's hard to prioritize making music, but still that's something that I want to do. I know that I want to start up like the member thing here on YouTube, and when you are a member, you will get the songs that I made for the different demos and stuff. So yeah, that's at least something. Amp or guitar? I'm guessing which is the most important thing. I've heard a lot of people discuss this, and surprisingly a lot of people are saying amp, that's the most important factor for your tone, but I think you need to assume then that you have a decent guitar going into that amp. If you have a horrible, not only sounding guitar but playing wise, it's just not a good experience at all. So I definitely prefer to have a instrument that I can play. I think that's more important than the amp. I've used many different amps up and through the years. I've used some really bad amps and some good ones, and I think for me it's more important to have an instrument that I can trust and that resonates with me. Yeah. If you have any questions, please leave them down below and I will try to get to them in next week's episode. Thank you for watching and goodbye.